Chlamydia return 1 year later. Both faithful. How can I show her I'm not lying? 38M 45F. Last year me, 38M, and wife, 45F, were trying IVF. The clinic found wife had chlamydia. Despite being faithful, I think she has some asymptomatic from a previous relationship as I was tested before we got together and was negative been only with her. I'm certain she has also been faithful. We both took the medicine and she got cleared. Unfortunately, I didn't go to get the test. This is the biggest mistake. After many fights, she relented and we moved on. Last week, she suddenly got violently ill. Shakes, high fever, severe abdominal pain. She finally agreed to go to a hospital. They're saying it's probably chlamydia, and they're keeping her for a week. Doctor said it's most likely mine didn't clear, and she was reinfected. She's adamant that I cheated, though. Won't answer phone calls, and all texts are just vitriol and divorce talks. I love this woman with all my heart, and I know she loves me. It hurts that she's thinking I could do this. How do I show her I'm not lying? Edit. I should add that she's very certain that she didn't give it to me initially either. Despite the test before we got together, she really doesn't think it started with her. 1. Welcome to our relationship advice. Please make sure you read our rules here. Link. We'd like to take this time to remind users that we do not allow any type of "am I the asshole?" or situations content involving minors. Link. We do not allow users to privately message other users based on their posts here. Users found to be engaging in this conduct will be banned. We highly encourage OP to turn off the ability to be privately messaged in their settings. Any sort of name-calling, insults, etc. will result in the comment being removed and the user being banned, including but not limited to slut, bitch, whore, for the streets, etc. It does not matter to whom you are referring. All advice given must be good, ethical advice. Joke advice or advice that is conspiratorial or just plain terrible will be removed, and users might be subject to a ban. No referencing hateful subreddits and/or their rhetoric. Examples include, but is not limited to, red, blue, black, purple pill, PUA, FDS, MGTW, etc. This includes, but is not limited to, referring to people as alpha beta, calling yourself or users friend-zoned, referring to people as Chads, Tyrones, or Stacys, Pick-me's, or porn sick. Any infractions of this rule will result in a ban. This is not an all-inclusive list. All bans in this subreddit are permanent. You don't get a free pass. Anyone found to be directly messaging users for any reason whatsoever will be banned. What we cannot give advice on: rants, unsolicited advice, medical conditions advice, mental illness, letters to an ex, body counts, or number of sexual partners, legal problems, financial problems, situations involving minors, and/or abuse, violence, sexual, emotional, etc. All of these will be removed and locked. This is not an all-inclusive list. If you have any questions, please message the mods, link. This is an automatic comment that appears on all posts. This comment does not necessarily mean your post violates any rules. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit, message compose, to watch our relationship advice, if you have any questions or concerns. 2. This doesn't add up. She gave you chlamydia and is now accusing you of cheating? I would have some serious questions for her. This definitely sounds like she's projecting. 3. How do I show her I'm not lying? You literally can't. I'm sorry, I wish there was an easy answer here, but it's impossible to prove that you never cheated on her. That said, posts like this have come up a few times over the years, and I recall once reading about how chlamydia can sometimes survive in the gastrointestinal tract. There are lots of articles on Google. Here's an excerpt from one since I can't remember the rules on links in this sub. A phenomenon is known from everyday clinical practice that can occur after successful antibiotic treatment. When people who have already been treated come to the doctor with a new chlamydia infection, they are often infected with exactly the same strains of bacteria as the previous infection. It is therefore reasonable to assume that the bacteria find a niche in the body where they are not yet vulnerable, that they form a permanent reservoir there, and can become active again later, says Professor Thomas Rudel, chlamydia expert and head of the chair of microbiology at the Biocenter of Julius Maximilians Universität, JMU, Würzburg, in Bavaria, Germany. This phenomenon is known as persistence. It is problematic because the chlamydia that persist in the body become increasingly resistant to antibiotics over time. But, my friend, here's the rub. You can have a million sources saying it's possible that you got reinfected, or the initial source never went away. But ultimately, this is going to come down to whether your wife believes you or not. 4. This is an insanely sketchy story, and considering you're the one genuinely asking for advice, you do realize that normal married couples don't just contract chlamydia from a relationship years prior, right? Also, really weird of her to just abruptly end your marriage. That's avoidant, self-destructive behavior. 5. You should ask her if she cheated. She gave it to you originally, and she doesn't get to accuse you now when she's the one looking guilty.